you guys as kind of a test this morning. I bought this new tripod face tracking thing that is supposed to follow me whenever I move around so that I don't have to worry about being out of the frame of the camera, right? So you can see as I move around, it's following me a little bit. So you guys will have to let me know how it goes. I'll ask you again in a couple of minutes. But it's something I wanted to try out to see how it actually works. We shall see. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not. Now, apparently there's a lag. There's some big IT outage today or something, from what I'm hearing. It's affecting travel and banking, and so far not YouTube, it doesn't seem. But it was a little bit slow. Excuse me, in coming up today. So we'll see how it works out. I don't know. As I mentioned, I am testing out something a little bit new this morning. This kind of face tracking tripod. You can see as I move around, it's kind of following me around the room, right? I'm curious to see how far it will actually go. I mean, so far, it seems to be a pretty broad scope. So I'm digging it so far. It's not fully charged. You guys will have to let me know how it looks on the live stream. In other words, is it notchy, weird looking, or does it work well? Daryl, hey Rob, how you doing, sir? Been a while since I've talked to you. Did you move into a new house? No, I haven't. This is not my house. I'm actually just kind of traveling a little bit. This is where I've been staying. The cars and things here are not mine. You can see over here, we've got a Lotus. Over here, the car I've been driving is a Honda Civic. They're not my cars. I don't own this house or anything like that. Just doing a little bit of traveling. Prov A, 120 degrees, I guess. It's supposed to be, I forget, it moves like 90 degrees per second. I'm not sure how far it actually goes around, but I have to say, so far, anywhere I've gone on here, it does seem to be tracking me pretty darn well. So I'm kind of digging it. It's pretty neat. It's like having a camera person without actually having to have a camera person, right? So I can't wait to watch a little bit of it back myself. John, if you're wondering what we're talking about, if you're just kicking in here, I bought one of those face tracking tripods so that you can move around and the camera will follow you. You just put your phone on it or whatever, the camera that I'm using. We're not really here to talk about that today. We got to talk about the new Toyota Tacoma sales, because the sales numbers for the 2024, I guess the 2024, there could still be some 2023 Tacomas in there, because, you know, dealers don't sell every one they get in. So the sales numbers could be skewed a little bit as far as exactly, you know, whether or not they include the 2024s and 2023s. But predominantly, the number of trucks being sold right now are 2024s, not 2023s. Prave, I read that. John Bailey, hello, Rob. Where are you? I am in Columbus, Ohio at the moment. Doing a little traveling and stuff. Doing that for a little while, I guess. There is a mix of videos on the channel. Obviously, the live streams are going to be right now. You're going to see some other videos coming up of mods and things on the 2024. Obviously, I shot some of those before I left because I wanted to continue to have some 2024 content on the channel while I'm away from home, you know. Let's have a drink of the green nectar. Still not sponsored, by the way. I don't know. Mighty darn good. Prave says it looks good. So the camera's not too herky-jerky or anything. I mean, it's following me around, I'm hoping, smoothly. Again, kind of using you guys as a test too. We're going to get to those 2024 sales figures. Toyota did release the first half of the year through June. So we know now a little bit better as to how the Tacoma is doing. Things are still not great. A lot of people attribute that to it being a new model year. Also, of course, there are a lot of people who don't like the engine. Obviously, that probably has something to do with it. We shall see. Prave says, it's that only horizontal, is that only horizontal regulated or also vertical? Sorry for my bad English. No problem. YouTube is pushing horizontal videos. They're trying to compete, I'm guessing, with the tic-tackers out there, which are all horizontal videos. So they're getting behind them. So when you upload a video horizontally, like I'm doing right now, it's YouTube's preferred method for doing live streams. That's why I'm doing them this way. I actually prefer the other orientation, the portrait orientation or landscape. But you know, obviously as a YouTuber, want to reach more people. So if YouTube gets behind it, you got to go with what they're doing, right? So that's kind of why we're doing it right now. By the way, let me give myself a little bit of a push. If you haven't yet, and you're just kicking on here, click that subscribe button if you would. Really helps out the channel. We're going to do one more quick test of this tracking camera I'm using right now, or tripod. Then we're going to get to these sale numbers. Prave says, yeah, but if you jump, for example, will the camera follow you? Well, let's find out. No, it's not one of those real expensive deals that rotates all over the place. It only goes side to side. So it will not follow me if I jump up in the air, which is okay because I don't do a lot of jumping anymore anyway. All right, let's go this way. We're gonna do a quick test, and then I'm gonna run over there. You ready? It's not too bad. Let's do it again. Here we go. Ready? Wow, it keeps up with me pretty well. How about a brisk walk? Looks kind of odd, doesn't it? Let's do it one more time. It's really not bad. I mean, I didn't spend thousands of dollars on this thing. And no, I'm not trying to sell these. I guess I should put a link down below if anybody's interested. I mean, when I watch videos like this, if I see something I like, I'm always interested in checking it out, but that's not really my goal. But I will, if anybody, you know, is interested in seeing that. Let's see. John says, I think he is asking about the tracking. Yeah, that was what my response was geared towards, rather. Well, orientation of the phone. No, it will not fit. You'd have to adapt the way it's held on here. It is set up for horizontal, I guess, fitting of the phone, whatever. In other words, fitting like this as opposed to this. I always get the words mixed up. I don't know why. Anyway, let's talk about those 2024 Tacoma, or the 2024 sales numbers on the new Tacoma. They released the numbers. They're through June. Disappointing. First quarter was down. If you recall, everybody was reporting on that as far as about 60%, I think it was. Something like that. Right around 60-some% sales of the Toyota Tacoma were down. Now, that was at the beginning, the first quarter. Of course, there were a few things that affected that. Supply, mostly supply, I guess. And then, of course, pricing and all that stuff. Let's see. Prave says, it's okay. Since you aren't so fat, you are mostly in the picture. If you'd be fat, you'd probably be too slow by running and your camera will get you. I got you. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. I'm not too fat. Yeah, I could lose a few pounds. I admit it. Anyway, that was first quarter, down about 60%. Now we have June. So I'll give you the June numbers. Let's see, let me make sure I get this right. For 2023, June for the Toyota Tacoma was 14,929 units sold. For a comparison, rather, in 2023, they sold 21,321. So it's about 30%, I believe, is what they're reporting. About 30% less in June of this year. That's not good. I mean, could you imagine? It'd be like you giving up 30% of your income, right? I mean, you come home one day and all of a sudden you're making 30% less than you were before. Probably not something you'd be happy to do. and maybe something that would be a big problem as well. Hey, Fergie, how you doing, Fergie? You might notice Fergie is in green right there. That's because he's a channel member. I appreciate that. Fergie also has a YouTube channel. Check him out. Recently did a little knee surgery action. Recovering well, I'm told. Anyway, Fergie, if you're wondering, I'm using one of those tracking phones. Here we go. Ready? I don't know why you have to do this when you're walking. I mean, it looks kind of odd, doesn't it? I could just walk, you know, like I don't know, who knows. Anyway, if you're wondering, anybody that's on, you're kind of my test group today for this new face tracking phone that I have. By the way, it does not work on animals, it says. I don't know why it wouldn't. It says it looks at your face, I guess. So who knows? Anyway, let's talk about numbers for the first half of 2024 on the new Tacoma. They're not great. First half, they've sold 69,437. 69,437. Now, that might sound like a lot. I mean, if somebody handed you $69,437, yeah, you'd probably like it. But wouldn't you rather have $116,845? Well, that's the number of Toyota Tacomas that were sold first half of 2023. It's not great. It's not great. Numbers wise, they're still down a little bit over 40%. That's much better than 60. So it means they're gaining. And I think maybe their best hope, would be to get close to breaking even as far as the same number of Tacomas sold for 2024 as 2023. I don't know if they're going to get there or not. Again, they do seem to be gaining, so that's a good thing. I mean, 40% is better than a 60% loss, but nonetheless, it's still a loss, right? Fergie, heaven forbid Toyota would cut prices. They are cutting prices, actually. I've heard anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 in the form of reductions in the price of the new Tacoma. Depends on the market area you're in, the dealership, how willing they are to negotiate or sell, but prices are being cut at the dealership level. I don't know if they're reimbursed at all by Toyota. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I mean, Toyota's not doing formal rebates that I'm aware of, at least not on a grand scale for everybody. You can always get a rebate if you're a first responder or military first responder or military person and other categories that you can get reductions in. But as far as I know, Toyota's not doing that on a grand scale for everybody, right? Fergie, by the way, you may have noticed a tracking mount has been used on my last couple of videos. I did. I figured that you probably didn't have anybody sitting there shooting the videos, or maybe Boone was shooting them on a really smart dog, I don't know. But I figured you had something on your last couple, by the way. Nothing like green nectar in the morning. Some people drink coffee. I guess I drink this to get my caffeine. I don't know. It's horrible for you, right? Don Van Slyke. Interest rates probably aren't helping the sales numbers. No, if you're going to finance, I mean, it depends. Toyota does have some lower rates themselves. I have seen interest rates as high as 8%, maybe higher depending on, this is what you need. This is what you need to take to the dealership with, no, don't do that. Don't go to the dealership with a club. In this day and age, you're probably going to have a nice cozy cell to sleep in for a while if you do that. Anyway, yeah, interest rates definitely don't help, and they have been high. Bill W., sales numbers for 2023 may have been elevated due to rumors about the 2024 model. They may have. I mean, I've heard from several folks on the channel and in other forums state that they were going to go out and buy a 23 Tacoma while they could still get one before the 2024s came out, because they didn't want a 2024. You could be right. I don't know if those numbers of people were big enough that it would severely influence the sales numbers, that you would really notice that it would be statistically important, but it could be, I don't know. Ann Gilo. Ann is also a channel member. You may notice she is in green right down there below. If you want to know what a channel member is, there is a join button. You can click that. It'll tell you what it is. You're not going to be obligated or anything by seeing what it is, but thank you, Ann. I appreciate that. Ann says, good morning, beautiful people. Still waiting on Tacoma prices coming down up here. Tundra may have a 3K reduction up here in Wisconsin. Yeah, I heard for a while they were offering as much as, God, what, $8,000, pushing 10 grand off on the Tundras. And that's because they were stacking up. Nobody was buying them, right? Plus, it doesn't help when your engine has particles left in it from machining, which is the big recall that Toyota's going through with the Tundra. I'm still curious to know how they're remedying that. I'm sure they're not bringing in thousands and thousands of trucks and replacing the engines. My guess is they're probably offering longer term warranty on those trucks to get people to keep them. You know, maybe 100,000 miles, something like that. I'm not sure. D. Yates, Toyota is really taking a lot of criticism and some haters are loving the sales dip. I get it, because when you're on top, people love to see you lose it. It won't last. Yeah, it's amazing how, as a society, we love to tear people down, right? We do it all the time. I mean, look at the entertainment industry. You get people who are on top, and then people are just burning to bring them down, man. It's the same thing with any company, with any product, and that's what's happening with Toyota, I think. It's really quite disgusting, I think. Don, stopped by the local Lowe's Wednesday, and there were 24 Tacomas in the parking lot at the same time. Wow. I have only seen, and I'm in a pretty big area here. I mean, this is Columbus, Ohio. There's, I don't know, a couple million people or a million. I don't know. It's a lot of people, maybe about a million. I don't know. But anyway, I've only seen 2 new Tacomas in this area. One, I believe, is a rental for Enterprise Rental, I think, because it's always sitting there at the lot. Maybe it's one of the businesses there, somebody owns it, I really don't know. And then I saw one on the road the other day driving, but that's it. And it kind of depends on where you live. In this area, Tacomas aren't as prevalent as they are where I'm at in South Texas, right? I mean, you can't go out anywhere and not see 5, 10, 15 Toyota Tacomas on the road. They're everywhere in South Texas. It's not like that here. You might see a handful if you're on the road for a while driving around, but that's it. And then as far as mods and things go, there really isn't a lot of modding going on here either. I mean, I've seen a few, but most of the Tacomas that I have seen while I've been here are just stock. Excuse me, no mods or anything like that. Prav A, you said military. I am in Germany, and no, the bases like Rammstein, Patch, Panzer, but they bring their own cars on planes. So are you selling to Europe? I don't understand what you're saying, what you're asking there. I'm not selling to anybody. I don't know what you mean. Don Van Slyke, true, San Antonio area. Yeah, I mean, you know, the trucks in South Texas are huge. I mean, both the mid-size, I mean, every truck. You see all kinds of things, except for the yuppie trucks. You don't see a lot of yuppie trucks in South Texas. And I'm talking about Honda Ridgelines, the Hyundai Santa Cruz. You see a few Ford Mavericks, you know, the micro trucks. They're not real big in South Texas. I mean, everything is bigger in South Texas, right? And it certainly holds true with the trucks. You know, if you've got a mid-size, you got to lift it. If you've got a full size, you got to lift that too. And the bigger full size you can get, the better. If you can get a dually and somehow justify paying for the gas and driving that thing around, even better. I see a few guys tooling around in those. I don't get it. They're just too big. I wouldn't want it, but you know. Hulk. Do you like Hyundai cars? I don't have a problem with Hyundai cars. I've had a Santa Cruz, and I also had a Hyundai Genesis Sport Coupe, Sport Track, I believe it was called, or Sport something. I don't know. It was a really badass car, all black, nice and sporty. It was fast. It was a 6-speed manual. Love that car. I really still wish I had it today. It still would be relevant. Because the design on it was so good. I'm not even sure if they're building it anymore. And if they are, I think they might have kind of ruined it, but I don't know. One controller, the new Taco is trash. Nobody wants it. I'm in Denver and nobody wants them. You might be one of those folks who wishes to see Toyota fail. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm sure it'll come out here in a minute. That's not true. It's not true that nobody wants them. You are on a channel dedicated to Tacomas, who, in my case, happens to own one. I consider myself to be somebody, so your comment is wrong. People do want them. They are selling. I mean, they've sold 69,437 of them so far this year. That's a lot of nobodies. I mean, I don't know. And why do you not like it? I'd be curious. What's your issue with it? Let's see. Hulk is giving the okay, baby. Wee Fergie says, personally, I like the motion tracking. Adds a little extra pizzazz to the static shots, even if the host is moving. Yeah, it makes the videos a little more fun to watch, I think. I mean, I can back up. I can move around. I can twirl my baton here. That's the extent to my martial arts training, as far as you know. Let's move on. One controller. My neighbor got one. It feels cheap, like a Chevy, not like a Taco. Matter of opinion. It doesn't feel cheap to me. I like mine. I have one, so I can speak from an owner's perspective. I am not affiliated or associated with Toyota in any way. They're not paying me to talk about their truck, and that's why I can give an honest opinion on some things that maybe aren't so good, like that damn glove box. One controller says, I love Toyotas. The new Taco is not it. We get it. You don't like the new Tacoma. So what is your truck of choice then? If you're not going to buy the new Tacoma at some point, I mean, not everybody's going to run out and buy one right away, but when you get to the point that you're looking for a new truck, what are you going to buy then? What is better than the new Toyota Tacoma for you? Let's see here. Ampilax Sport LB20 Ampilax. I always get your handle wrong. I don't know what it is. Mrs. LB20 says, no green lime green. She really loves that lime. You know what you ought to do? Why haven't you bought her a lime green Tacoma? I mean, she is jonesing for that truck. You got to get her one, or she might get one of these for you. I'm just saying. I like that truck too. It was a really eye-catching truck. Not my favorite color of all time. We all know that's voodoo blue, right? I also like the other blue, which right now, I cannot think of the name of it. It's more like a sky pastel blue. What was Calvary blue? I like that as well. Barcelona red, the red that I have now. Solar Octane. They're all pretty darn good colors. And if you can't tell, I like colors that pop, right? I can never understand why people buy black. Well, black's the best color, but it's horrible to keep clean. But silver, white, gray, which I've had probably all of those in some form or another on some vehicle, but just not my thing, Hulk, have you seen the Hyundai Creta in the U.S.? I don't follow Hyundai, so I don't know anything about that. I don't know if it's a truck, a car, an SUV, a minivan. I don't even know what that is. Again, I don't really follow Hyundai. They're just not my thing. I don't have anything against them, but they're not really my thing. So back to the sales numbers. Where does Toyota go from here? What can they do, right? Well, there's been a lot of suggestions on what Toyota can do to try to get people to jump on the new Tacoma, right? One, of course, is to go back to the V6. Put a V6 in it and leave it alone. Maybe a different tune, something that makes it a little quicker, gets rid of the lag, and use that new transmission. Is that going to happen? No way in hell that's going to happen. I don't see it. I can't imagine that. To me, as a manufacturer, when you've put out a new model, would be like a huge step backwards. I don't see that happening. Secondly is to, of course, lower the price. They're doing that. They're doing that now, at least at the dealership level, in the form of negotiated money down. And by the way, you should always negotiate, man. I had a grandfather who years ago, this is way back, he would go to the dealership and he would always pay sticker no matter what. They loved him. He'd go in and he'd pay sticker, and that's not even $500 off. I mean, I don't care if you get $100 off, right? You've got to negotiate, man. Don't walk into a dealer and pay what they're asking. To me, that's absurd. You've got to get something off, right? But anyway, they are coming down on pricing. They weren't doing that at first. I mean, they, of course, were charging a market adjustment. They were charging more money, right, for the privilege of being able to purchase their product. Now they are negotiating anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000, I've heard. So they're doing that. Thirdly, and this is what I think they probably really should be doing, maybe not sell the truck for any more than sticker, maybe negotiate a grand or two off the price, but add warranty to it. Get behind the truck. Right now, they've got their standard 36,000 3-year warranty. For me, that's not really standing behind the new model. They've got to stand behind the new model, and that means more warranty. I think they probably should be given maybe, I don't know, 100,000 miles, 5 years, something like that. Maybe something even along the lines for a while. And I'm not saying they have to do this forever, maybe for the first couple of years or so, but get behind the truck, put your reputation where your mouth is, and offer that warranty. Because if the new truck truly is quality like we expect from Toyota, and we have no reason to believe that they're not building a quality and reliable truck, right? Then they shouldn't have any problem putting a greater warranty behind it to convince people that it is a good truck and that they're willing to put their name and reputation behind it in the form of greater warranty. 100,000 miles, maybe 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, I don't know, the Hyundai model or Kia, whoever's does it right now. You know, that I think would convince a lot of people that Toyota has faith in the new Tacoma, right? I think that would be one of the biggest things they could do, obviously, other than lowering pricing. And I don't think lowering pricing really is going to get them that much. That's going to attract some people who probably are really interested in buying the new Tacoma anyway. What do you guys think of that? If they offered a 100,000 mile warranty on this new truck, would that be enough? I mean, would that soothe your fears, I guess, about its quality and reliability and about the longevity, maybe, of that turbo that's in it? Let's see. Fergie says, Boone the Wonder is whining to go out. See you later. Yeah, you got to take care of that. You don't want him doing his business in the house because that's just not good. And thanks for kicking in, by the way, Fergie, and for being a member on the channel. I appreciate that. M. Jones says, new models are not selling well. Let's see. New models not selling well is normal. It takes time to get them coming off the line efficiently. Let's see. I'd ignore sales numbers until the year and reevaluate then. That's what a lot of people say. I don't know if I agree with that or not, really. I mean, I think if a company comes out with a product that's really good, that doesn't have a price tag that's so high that people, can't stand that, and is, I don't know how you prove reliability and quality in it, though. I mean, that's something that takes time. And I love the trolls that come on that say the new truck has poor quality and poor reliability. And I'm like, how the hell do you know this? I mean, the truck just came out. There is nothing to substantiate or support that it's not reliable and that it has poor quality, right? I mean, how would you know that? The only way you can know that is after time, after the truck is on the market for a while. That's really the only way. Let's see. Be the miracle. No, I have 318,000 miles on my '05 Mag. I'll never get another vehicle that's new, LOL. '05 Mag. What is a Mag? It escapes me. I don't know what you're talking about. Mag. Yeah, I really don't know what that is. All right, we got to have a sip of the green nectar. While we're doing that, if you wouldn't mind, if you're just kicking in here, smash that subscribe button. Really does help me out. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free, right? Let's have a sip of the green nectar here. Dodge Magnum, LOL. I see. Well, you know, I'm not that familiar with Dodges. I did have a Dodge Ram a while back. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. I did have a Dodge Ram a while back, but shoot. Well, seems I've dropped my green nectar. You know, that's not good. But anyway, I did have a Dodge Ram a little while back. The camera's going nuts. Where'd you go, man? I bent down and it went crazy. I did have a Dodge Ram a while back. I like the Rams. I had a Ram Rebel a few years ago. Nice trucks. Never have had a Dodge Magnum. So I can't really speak to that. But hey, if you like it, that's cool. Michael Guerra Trake says that's poison. What isn't poison, really? I mean, unless you're eating, I don't even know what. Even if you grow your own stuff, it's got chemicals in the air and chemicals in the soil. And I don't worry about those kind of things. I guess if I'm poisoning myself, I'm enjoying doing it. So not a big deal to me. Anyway, yeah, not familiar with the Dodge Magnum. I know of the name, but I don't know anything about it. Michael says Mountain Dew. Yes, I do have some Mountain Dew. Not sponsored, by the way. I just like the product. You know, it's funny, too, because every time a YouTuber talks about a product or shows a product or it's, you know, sitting in the background here, somehow we are sponsored by these people. We're showing it because they're paying us. I only wish that were true. Because if it were, I'd be sponsored by garage door companies, trash can companies, Lotus companies. Over here, we've got a Honda Civic. I mean, the checks would just be rolling in, right? It's not true. Sometimes you just have things on the camera that you like, right? That's it. That's in my case anyway. So there you have it. There's the sales numbers. Beginning of the year, Toyota was down 60% on the Tacoma. In June, they're now down 30% for the month of June, which brings them down from that 60% to 40% off down for the whole year. Can they make that up by the end of the year? I don't know if they're going to be able to do that or not. We shall see. Hard to say. Anyway, I just wanted to get on. I want to make this a real long video. I wanted to test this face tracking camera system that I have. Don't know why I have a piece of wood in my hand. It was just there and it felt right. You know what I'm saying? I never mind. Anyway, I appreciate you guys kicking on. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about those sales figures. And would 100,000 mile not powertrain, but warranty, we'll call it powertrain, for the new Tacoma convince you to buy one and take that leap? I'd be curious to know about that. Be the Miracle says, I genuinely feel the quality of vehicles today just isn't what it used to be. I disagree. Go back to the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s. Those things were POSs. We are way better today than what it used to be. I'm not sure what you're thinking there. Monta, Toyota and Nissan were the top with 4 and straight 6s, but they can't touch a V8 Ford, CMC, Dodge, and definitely not American diesel. Be the Miracle. Too much tech for me, I guess. It's the wave of the future. I love, sometimes people get on and say they should go back. We should have roll-up windows. We should have manual seats. We should have AM/FM radios with 8-track tape players. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Technology will always move forward. Innovation will always move forward. It's the way it is. It's what most people want. And think about it. Our lives are way better today than they were back in the 1800s. Aren't they? I think so. Kid Bako says, most people probably leasing. I have no idea. I've never done a study on that. So I couldn't say if that's true or not. Be the Miracle says, well, now, I'm not saying that, LOL. See, everybody has their thing. I mean, you probably, like me, want automatic up and down windows, power windows, right? You don't want to go back to the hand cranks, do you? But that's technology. Where are you going to draw the line? And then the next person behind you is going to say, but wait a minute. I want those nanny systems on the car that go off when I start to have somebody beside me. I mean, it never ends, right? Be the Miracle. I just work on my own stuff, and you can't today without a computer to release brake calipers. Well, that's pretty specific there. I don't know. I've never used a computer to release anything. So I don't know why you'd need a computer to release brake calipers, but maybe you do. I'm not sure. Gene Garrett. Especially 80s and 90s, POSs. I feel the quality is better nowadays. Yeah, I mean, I love when people say, oh, I wish we could go back. It was better in the past. That's never been true. You telling me that a 2024 model anything is less quality than a 1970 anything? Come on, man. I've had those old cars. They were junkers. I don't have any problems with the new cars or trucks or anything, so I don't really know. It felt like something just flew by me in here. You guys see something flying around in here? We have bats. I guess there's bats up here. I don't know. Be the Miracle says, on new models, trust me, it's a thing. It could be. I don't know. I've never worked on brake calipers on a new model. So you might be exactly right. I'm not doubting you. I just don't have any experience with it myself. So I don't really know. To each their own. I like being able to fix my stuff without having to pay an arm and a leg. I don't disagree with you there, but given all the technology, and even if you have the knowledge with all the technology and stuff, do you have the equipment? Do you have that computer or program or tools, everything that you would need to be able to work on your specific vehicle should something go wrong? Do you have a lift? So even if you could, chances are there are other things holding you back than simply it being new and more modern technology, right? Anyway, I'm going to get off here. Appreciate everybody being on. Again, one more reminder to you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the new face tracking device I'm using to live stream on. I'd just be curious to know if you like it or what you think of it. You can see it moves around, hands-free. I'm not touching anything, and it's following me around, right? I think it's pretty cool. Can't wait to watch this back and see how it is. Don't forget, let me know what you think of that 100,000-mile warranty on the new Tacoma. Would you buy one if it came with one? I'd be curious to know. And don't forget, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Have a great day. Bye.